Are Bournemouth the scariest team in the Premier League?
The manager's fantastic, he's done a great job, Kluivert's on fire.
Kluivert, Howson, Evanilson, Semenyo, loads of talented players all being managed by Iraola. The real ones remember Iraola's inform card in FIFA 12. That's when you know you're becoming an unk, when players you used in FIFA are becoming managers. Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest all have entered the Andoni Iraola penitentiary. This kid is also in the penitentiary, he's been trying to get out for weeks. They got this kid on the Romelu Lukaku diet, he's been eating good. The Spaniard has a secret formula that has helped the Cherries dominate everyone. What makes his strategy so good? Let's find out. When an underrated team outperforms expectations like this, the credit of course always goes to the manager. And as I will show you later in the video, the credit should go to Iraola as he's been the mastermind behind the success. But for those of you who haven't watched Bournemouth, this team is filled with a lot of talented players. It's not like it's a bunch of bums. At the top of their goal scoring charts is Justin Kluivert. Yes, this is Patrick Kluivert's son, but I promise you nepotism isn't why the Dutchman is at Bournemouth. This isn't a LeBron-Bronny situation.
Yeah, I heard I had more goals than him here already, so that is one win over him.
In fact, he is so good that even Mourinho had seen his potential, calling him special when he was just a teenager at Ajax. What they said to each other has been confirmed now, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Kluivert misheard Mourinho and Mourinho was just self-praising himself as the special one. Ever since that moment though, Kluivert just bounced from club to club on loan like an OnlyFans actress. He became the youngest player to score for Roma in the Champions League, but then he got sent out on loan to Leipzig, Nice, and then Valencia. But ever since arriving at Bournemouth, he's really found his home. He's now played more games with Bournemouth than any other club that he was at. In November of 2024, he made history, becoming the first player to score a hat-trick of penalties in a Premier League match. But trust me, this guy is not a penalty merchant. He's not Penaldo. Look at his hat-trick against Newcastle. By the way, the win against Newcastle was huge. The Magpies were on a 9-game winning streak, and Bournemouth stopped them from breaking their club record for most consecutive wins. The Forest win was also really special because they had the most clean sheets in the league at the time and were arguably the most informed team in the country. And Bournemouth, they just spanked them. I actually tried uploading the Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest highlights to the hub, but they wouldn't accept it. They said it was too much of a spanking.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Kluivert is super agile, very good at finishing, and the perfect player to exploit defensive gaps. I still don't know what Forest were thinking just letting him walk up and shoot like this. You would think the two cubes that Nottingham have at center back in Murillo and Milinkovic would have stepped up, but they're like, no, you can shoot, go ahead. Ever since arriving at Bournemouth, Kluivert's game without the ball has also developed really well. He is running more, which is key to Bournemouth's high intensity approach, which I will cover later in the video. Look at his heat map against Newcastle. He was roaming around everywhere, trying to find the best places to create overloads. On top of Kluivert, Bournemouth have Semenyo. Funny enough, Semenyo was also a player that was bounced from club to club on loan like a hot potato. He was a player that was overlooked time and time again. According to reports, early in his career, he almost gave up on football entirely after being rejected by Crystal Palace and Millwall. Honestly, if Millwall rejected me, I'd probably consider retirement too. Well now, the Ghanaian is one of Bournemouth's most important players, and he has been linked with moves to some of the biggest clubs in the country. At one point, only Holland had taken more shots than Semenyo. He is 2-footed, has an unlimited work rate. Like, he was second at one point when it came to winning the ball back in the attacking third. He was also second only to Alexis McAllister for having blocked the most passes in the attacking third. He is so crucial to Bournemouth's high pressing from the front, and now that he's added goals to his game, he's a real threat. Add in Ouattara and Evanilson, and you realize why Bournemouth have been able to still keep scoring goals despite losing their top goal scorer from the previous season in Dominic Solanke. Ouattara got his first professional hat-trick against Forest, and man, what a team to do it against. Like, Forest was beating everyone, not even Liverpool, who are most likely going to win the league, were able to beat them. And not only did Bournemouth beat them, they absolutely bent them over and spanked them and made their ass look like the Japanese flag. Evanilson started out slow, but as he's began to adapt to the league, he's showing why Bournemouth had broken the bank for him. He scored in 3 games in a row against very tough opponents. He scored against Villa, City, and Brentford. Unfortunately, an injury halted his good form, but it's another asset that Bournemouth have in their arsenal. You can also enjoy that pun because the Cherries also beat the Gunners. Now, the attackers always get the praise, so let me show some love to Bournemouth's D. I meant their defenders, man. Get your mind out of the gutter. Dean Howson will go down as one of Juventus' biggest fumbles and one of Bournemouth's best recruits. At Juve, he was basically the 4th/5th choice center back, so he wasn't getting a lot of playing time. And according to the Spaniard himself, he was told that the club had to sell him to raise funds. So now Bournemouth have a 19-year-old center back who is 6'4", fantastic in the air, super comfortable on the ball, and very intelligent. You've probably seen his celebration doing the chill guy, and that's a great way of describing his playstyle. He is just so calm at the back. His partnership with Zabarni is a massive factor for why Bournemouth have been so strong defensively. Hopefully Bournemouth can keep him, but if he does end up leaving, let's just say it's going to be for a heck of a lot more money than the 50 million euros that were initially spent on him. By the way, imagine you're the Spain national team, you basically have your center back partnership for the next decade, Pau Kubarsi and Dean Housen. Another defender that Bournemouth will have to work very hard to keep is Milos Kerkez. I think Liverpool are going to be all over this guy. He is rock solid defensively and he's fantastic going forward. Some might even say he's hungry going forward. Get it? Because he's from Hungary?
Well, that was dreadful.
He got 2 assists against City and then scored against Wolves and Newcastle. Excellent crossing, great energy and tenacity. He is the perfect modern day fullback. None of this center back and fullback nonsense anymore. Thank you, Iraola. Now that we've established how good the talent is, we have to focus on the main ingredient that has helped Bournemouth become so good. When Iraola isn't chasing around Spider-Man, he is turning Bournemouth into a powerhouse. We are seeing the fruits of his work now, but the seeds, they were planted when he joined in 2023. See what I did there? Because they're named Cherries and he planted the seeds. Bournemouth had taken notice of the good work Iraola was doing at Rayo Vallecano. He got them promotion and led them to the last 4 of the National Cup for the first time in 40 years. It was great recruiting from Bournemouth. They definitely saw something in him because, to be honest with you, the jump from the 2nd division of Spain to the Premier League is pretty big. But ever since his arrival, he looks like he's been managing the club for decades. In the 2023-2024 season, he got the Cherries to get their best ever points tally of 48 points, ending up in 12th place. In the 2024-2025 season, Iraola has gotten the best out of all of these managers. Mikel Arteta, the blockhead, Pep Guardiola, Baldy, Ange Postecoglou, the bear from Toy Story, Ruben Amorim, although at this rate United is a free win, so I don't know how much respect I can give to Iraola, Eddie Howe, Nuno. Beating this many top managers and informed teams, it's not like Bournemouth are fluking their way to wins. Bournemouth's performance against City really showed how Iraola wants his team to look. Not only did they end City's 32-game unbeaten run in the Premier League, but they completely ran over them. Even Pep said in the post-match press conference that his team just couldn't match the intensity of Bournemouth.
Well, we could not match up the intensity of Bournemouth.
And that's what the Cherries do. They press you and outrun you. They don't hold the ball at all. They're at the bottom when it comes to average possession. Yet despite not having the ball that much, they're at the top in expected goals, shots on target. Then defensively, they're one of the best teams in the league. They keep a lot of clean sheets, unlike Bonnie Blue, and they also don't concede a lot of expected goals. In fact, according to the expected points model, Bournemouth should be even higher in the table. You see, while some of the baldies in the Premier League want to minimize risk and really maintain control, Iraola, with his full head of hair, invites chaos. He wants the games to be fast, he wants it to be hectic, he wants it to be back and forth. He uses something called the hybrid pressing, which is essentially a system that combines zonal marking with man-to-man pressing. By the way, if you guys are wondering where I'm getting all this information and data from, you gotta check out my Patreon. If you want to have more ball knowledge than your friends and know about things before the mainstream people know about it, click on the link in the description and check out my Patreon. The aim is to disrupt the other team's build-up and force turnovers higher up the pitch. This is why Semenyo had such good defensive stats, because guys like him, Kluivert, Ryan Christie, they bounce on loose balls.
Hey, yo!
Pause, you know what I mean. As soon as they see a poor pass, they jump in to win the ball back. Bournemouth actually lead the league in shot ending after a turnover. This means not only do they win possession back a lot, but they're super aggressive after getting the ball back. This is also why they're first in the league in counter pressure and second in the league in pressures resulting in turnovers. They are also at the top when it comes to distance covered per game and sprints per game. Look at a guy like Ryan Christie. Look at his work ethic, how he contributes to both in the attack and when Bournemouth are defending. He is the midfield brain of the team, knowing when to dive in and press and tackle and when to just hold back and jockey to let the other team have the ball. Bournemouth are super fun to watch because people complain that football has become too robotic, too safe, but if you watch this team play, they are purposefully creating disorder. They are taking risks because they know that even if they lose a duel or lose the ball, they have the energy to recover. And a part of that is because Bournemouth has one of the youngest teams in the league. Then as soon as they win the ball back, the focus is on moving the ball forward as quickly as possible with minimal touches, so the opposition can't get into position. Guys like Kluivert, Ouattara, and Kerkez, they provide the width, and then guys like Semenyo and Evan Nielsen, they go through the middle. There's a lot of movement happening, plus they're really good from set pieces. Just ask Manchester United. Like I said, Bournemouth can play like this because they have a team full of youthful energy and players that have really bought into Iraola's system. They have embraced chaos. Iraola literally might be Doc Ock. Now I'm sure eventually the Spaniard will want to find a balance between control and chaos, but for now, they're catching every single team off guard. If you enjoyed this video, oh boy, are you going to enjoy this video right here. You gotta check it out.